"You're outdated. We're done here," the CEO hissed. I replied quietly, "Understood." That was the moment the retirement trust activated its voting rights. By Monday morning, the board convened an emergency meeting. The question on everyone's lips was the same. Who just fired the person who owns 76% of the shares? I was already gone. I didn't always speak in knives. Once I spoke in promises. I built things, companies, mornings, a marriage, brick by brick. She loved that about me, or said she did. She loved the steadiness, the silence, the way I solved problems without applause. I thought love was the same craft, quiet, durable, invisible until needed. We had a rhythm, coffee at 6, calls at 8, dinners late. I learned her tells, the way she tapped a glass when lying, the pause before she said my name when she needed something. I trusted those tells because I wanted to. That's the first betrayal, choosing comfort over curiosity. The second betrayal was a receipt. A hotel booking confirmation arrived on the shared tablet. 2 nights, a room upgrade, her name, not mine. The date circled itself in my head like a red pen. I didn't confront her. I zoomed in. I memorized the font. I learned the cancellation policy. I learned the floor plan. Pain is loud. Planning is quiet. The signs stacked neatly after that. A new phone with a new passcode, a calendar with gaps where we used to be, perfume she never wore at home. I followed none of it with my feet. I followed it with paper, screenshots, call logs, timestamps. I hired a firm that billed discreetly and asked no questions. They gave me answers I didn't want, and leverage I did. Then I remembered something else. I wasn't just a husband, I was a shareholder. Years ago, when I was useful and silent, I negotiated a retirement trust as part of my compensation. Boring. Safe. I parked my shares there and forgot them on purpose. The trust had teeth, voting rights, trigger clauses, a fail-safe designed for a future I didn't expect to need. I read the bylaws like a prayer, slowly, precisely. While she planned a weekend escape, I prepared a disappearance. I didn't sleep. I delegated. Lawyers in different time zones, accountants who spoke in margins, a private investigator who spoke in dates. We built a clean corridor out of a mess. I didn't touch her phone. I didn't touch her life. I let her touch mine on record. The hotel had cameras. The lobby was generous with angles. The elevator told the truth if you asked it the right way. When she checked in with him, young, ambitious, replaceable, I watched from a screen the size of my patience. I booked my own room across the street, not to spy, to wait. The CEO meeting was scheduled for Friday. He had already decided I was obsolete. I let him think it. I wore my oldest suit. I said little. I nodded when he smiled. "You're outdated," he said, leaning back like a man who believed the chair would hold him. "We're done here." "Understood," I said, because the trap requires consent. At 9:02 a.m., the trust activated. At 9:04, the room changed temperature. The board members checked their tablets. Someone cleared a throat. The CFO stopped breathing with his mouth open. The CEO's smile detached itself from his face and fell to the floor. "Who called this?" he demanded. The answer wasn't a person. It was math. By noon, I was no longer employed. By 1, he wasn't either. By 2, the press was asking about governance reforms. By 3, my attorney confirmed the severance I didn't need and the silence they would keep. That evening, I knocked on her hotel door. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. The room smelled like a choice she would regret. He hid in the bathroom like a rumor. I placed an envelope on the desk. Inside, stills from the lobby, a timeline, a copy of the prenup with the infidelity clause highlighted, a letter from my attorney, another from the board announcing my resignation and the CEO's termination. She tried to explain. I let her talk until the words ran out and the truth showed up shaking. "I'm not here to argue," I said. "I'm here to leave." She asked where I was going. "Forward," I said, "without you." I left the room key on the desk. I left the marriage in the envelope. I left before tears could negotiate. The fallout was efficient. Assets froze and unfroze according to design. Accounts separated like trained soldiers. She learned how expensive silence can be. He learned how temporary confidence is. On Monday, the board met again. I didn't attend. I sent a note. 3 sentences. No signature. They promoted from within. Stability returned. The market smiled. My phone stayed quiet. I disappeared the right way, not in a blaze, in a balance sheet. Now, when I think about betrayal, I don't feel rage. I feel calibration, the exact weight of trust, the precise distance between love and leverage. I didn't win because I was cruel. I won because I was patient. Some people book hotels to escape their lives.